What's up, losers? Today I'm back with some more r/fatlogic merriment. Taking a look at a couple of amusing posts, sharing my hastily jotted down responses to them, and having some fun. This is episode 116 in the fatlogic series. And I'm ready to embrace the magic of fat acceptance. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Took a large shirt out of a skinny girl's hand at a thrift store today. This one is for the fat girls.
How did that go, though?
I'm so freaking proud of you.
Clap, clap, clap.
Wow, icon.
What a win! Oh my god!
Well, this is a new low, isn't it? Just when you thought that fat activists couldn't get any pettier or more embarrassing, they come out with this. It's almost impressive, in a totally backwards way, of course, how consistently terrible they manage to make themselves look. And this post epitomizes that like few others. I mean, you can't just go around taking clothes out of people's hands at stores. It's completely unacceptable behavior, and the person from whom you took the clothes would be well within their rights to complain and get you kicked out of the store for it. I know fat activists fancy themselves eternal victims, and consider anything they do to be a just response to society's supposed oppression of them. But what can I say? I'm not buying it. You are the bully in this scenario. 1000%. Throwing your weight around, asserting your right to have what you want, over what anyone else wants, and using your physicality to get it. Instead of, I don't know, politely asking, like a mature adult. It's just utterly shameful conduct. And I would be embarrassed to admit to ever doing something like that. Let alone brag about it online as if it's some badge of honor. With all of that being said, I don't even know what's worse. The fact that this poster did something so juvenile and rude, or the hero's welcome they received when they jumped on social media to share the dubious triumph. Like, who the frick are all these losers coming out of the woodwork to cheer this idiocy on? It's hard to imagine a clearer way of showcasing one's immaturity and spite than voicing support for such ridiculous behavior. They might as well be screaming, I'm irrationally angry and I have no life, into a megaphone, haha. But you know what? If such a lame show of resistance is what it takes to get these people through the night, then I'll let them have it. We all know they're incapable of doing anything actually meaningful with their lives, and I have no doubt that they'll be back to their complaining within a day. But for the briefest of moments, let's just let the circus lights shine bright, and let them soak it all in. From behind a thick layer of face paint, of course.
Your skinny fae hunched over on Instagram to create fat rolls where there aren't any. Didn't invent body positivity, she freaking stole it, and centered herself in it, at the expense of women who actually needed it. Comments have been turned off, because non-fat people think that body positive should be for everyone. Like they don't have enough spaces already. I won't have my space invaded by those who already have a safe space in this world. This is completely why I don't use body positive hashtags. Body positive movement was created for marginalized folks, by black fat trans women, as a safe space for those who society excludes. Without these people, we would not have body positivity. I use fat acceptance, which is also being appropriated. Well, not here. I am here to provide a space and a voice of acceptance to those who society exclude, oppress, and hate. This space is mine, and I will not have it diluted. If you, or the person in the photo you're looking at, have to contort your body to look fat, or look fatter, you have not been subject to the hatred fat people endure on a daily basis. Body positivity was created by fat, black, trans women, as a safe space for marginalized people. This doesn't mean you can't be an ally. It just means body positivity wasn't created for you. You already have spaces where you are safe and accepted. Hashtag fat acceptance. Hashtag weight stigma hurts us all. Hashtag fat positive. Hashtag I believe in you. Hashtag I speak body. Hashtag I see you. Hashtag fat bodies are good bodies. Hashtag weight stigma. Hashtag anti-diet. Hashtag fat is not a violation. Hashtag diet industry bullshit. Hashtag fat is not a bad word. Hashtag done with diets. Hashtag ditch the scale. Hashtag ditch the scale. Hashtag diet culture dropout. Hashtag anti-diet culture. Hashtag anti-diet project. Hashtag anti-diet. Hashtag riots not diets. Hashtag weight stigma hurts us all. Hashtag weight loss walkout.
Okay, so, I don't know much about body positivity. And I'm not going to sink a ton of time into trying to trace the movement back to its origins. Because in all honesty, I'm not that interested, but I do have a few thoughts on this post. From an outsider's perspective, so, here they are. First, I can accept that the way some thin influences deliberately distort their bodies, to accentuate their flaws, and win body positivity clout, is performative and a little obnoxious. But at the same time, it seems a bit weird to me that body positivity, of all social movements, would be so concerned with gatekeeping who gets to participate, and excluding people who have body types that coincide more closely with normative beauty standards. I mean, thin people have bodies too, and everybody has insecurities, if the movement is really just for marginalized bodies, according to this poster's rather narrow standards. It should probably choose a different name for itself, because with a name like body positivity, I don't think people are wrong for assuming that there would be a place for everyone. Furthermore, for a movement that is supposedly concerned with promoting positivity, this post is remarkably, well, negative, like the whole point of the post seems to be excluding people, scolding them for even wanting to be involved, and generally complaining about thin people. The tone of the post can only be described as angry and bitter, and it's hard to imagine anyone reading it and coming away feeling good about anything, regardless of which side of the debate they fall on. In other words, the post is a giant downer. And if it qualifies as body positivity, I'd hate to see what body negativity looks like, haha. All of this got me thinking about what the post is actually trying to accomplish in the first place. I mean, it says towards the end that you can still be an ally, even if you aren't fat enough to actually belong in the movement. But these words ring a little hollow, considering that the whole post is basically a giant frick you to thin people. So my cynical brain tells me that the point of posts like this is not really to help the body positivity movement thrive, or maintain its integrity against outside interference, but simply to keep out people with good intentions and a genuine desire to participate, based on plain old jealous insecurity on the part of gatekeepers like this poster. To an outsider such as myself, having more people take an interest in body positivity, and having people with big platforms promote its ideals, seems like a total win for the movement, and its aspirations for social change. But to certain fat activists, this was never the point. They were always more concerned with upholding a closed subculture, in which they could wallow in their misery together, free from the disruptive influence of people who don't look like them. And for these people, seeing wider society take an interest in body positivity is not a plus. It's a threat, and if this post is anything to go by, not one that they are taking lightly. Where am I going with this? I don't know really. I just thought that the strategic considerations and underlying motives at play here were kinda interesting, and I wanted to sort through my thoughts on them a bit. I guess if I had to come up with a closing statement, it would be: if fat activists want to have a little club where they exclude and attack thin people, and waste the days stewing in bitter jealousy, then that's cool. I'm happy for them, but I really don't think body positivity is the appropriate name for that kind of setup. Just one man's opinion.
If you refer to some foods as trash, garbage, junk, dirty, and / or not real food. Recognize that you are fortunate enough to label food in ways that shame those who don't have access or can't afford to eat the way you do and just need to eat.
Okay, but like, I eat junk food myself regularly. It's not as if I describe foods in the ways that the post identifies to shame myself or to shame anyone else who eats them. I describe them in these ways so that I can easily differentiate between them and the more wholesome foods that constitute the bulk of my diet. It's largely just a convenient shorthand, and it can be useful in reminding us to consume things like fast food, candy, and cake, in moderation, and not in excess. Beyond that, I'm a little tired of hearing about how obesity is just a product of poverty and lack of access. Because while yes, these are hugely important factors on a societal level, there are still plenty of things that individuals can do to maintain a healthy diet, and we should be encouraging everyone to do the best in their own lives, in tandem with systemic reform. Not making it an either-or, and using systemic problems as a justification for personal inaction. Because realistically, systemic reform is not going to happen overnight, and obese people cannot afford to wait around for a day when dieting will be a little easier for them. And for what it's worth, if there are cases where people genuinely don't have any options outside of unhealthy junk food, I would still be comfortable using the term junk food to describe the things they're eating. And you know why? Because it's a commentary on the food itself, not on the people who eat it. If you really don't have access to any quality food, and are forced to eat McDonald's 3 times a day, that is nothing short of a failure on society's part. And it is something that we should be condemning, not sugarcoating. If people in our societies are being forced to eat trash, then that's something that we should seriously reflect on. And in that sense, I think terms like junk food paint a very powerful picture. At any rate, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the posts, and that you got something out of my commentary. What do you think? Does snatching clothes out of a thin girl's hand make one a fat icon? Is body positivity only for marginalized, fat bodies? Is it classist to describe foods as junk or trash? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll rip that cute top out of your hands, just as you're heading to the counter to buy it, and stand menacingly over you, and laugh maliciously in your face. Just kidding, haha. Anyway, catch you later.